I first became aware of the need for an adult daycare in Georgetown through my involvement with the Commission on Aging. I currently serve as a liaison between the City of Georgetown and the Commission, and it was within this venue that we had the opportunity to hear from a variety of speakers and also board members, including Josie Zamora. It's through Josie's involvement and her passion for addressing dementia and other memory care issues that we quickly identified this as a true unmet need within the city.
A gift of time before it was a gift of time. Josie and I met at the Horticulture Club in Sun City. We're both pretty avid gardeners, and we developed a relationship over the years and friendship. And one day we were walking between the beds in the garden, and she started talking about her plan to do something for Alzheimer's patients. Her mom had died of Alzheimer's, and she recognized there was a terrific need within the community. And so she said she was coming out with a plan to do something in a daycare type facility. And I said, once you get your planning done, let me know if I can help. And I think at that moment, A Gift of Time was born.
Well, I was made aware of A Gift of Time. I think back in 2016, I had a relationship with Councilman John Hesser, who was advocating for a range of things that we had connected on between the Georgetown Health Foundation and the city, and considering how the city intersects its nonprofit funding with the community. And John let me know that there was an effort and a movement around creating a facility that is going to become A Gift of Time. And that's how I met Josie. I reached out to Josie after John had signaled that this was happening and asked if she would have coffee. And so that's how I learned about it.
I first learned about A Gift of Time when St. David's Foundation was looking at potential new opportunities to create adult daycare centers in Central Texas. Unfortunately, at the moment, there are only 2 adult daycare centers throughout the 5-county area that we support. And so we started to talk to A Gift of Time about would there be a possibility of creating an adult daycare center in Georgetown.
Years ago, when I was assigned to St. Helens Catholic Church here in Georgetown, I met Deacon Joe Ruiz. And in our conversation, he said, I want you to learn about A Gift of Time. It's a great new initiative that's beginning here in the Georgetown area, and I want you to support it. And I also want you to meet Josie. And so 2 or 3 months went by, and I had the chance to set up a meeting with Josie and to hear her story. And it was a very beautiful conversation that we have, recognizing and realizing that this was truly a calling from God, that God was leading her and calling her and drawing her heart into setting up this program, A Gift of Time, here in Georgetown.
I was introduced to Josie through a mutual friend who thought I might be interested in hearing about her vision. And so when I met Josie, I was so impressed with her wisdom, with her vision, with her energy, with everything that she'd already accomplished beforehand, like having a board of directors and having the footprint for how the adult day care center was going to be laid out. And so I was grateful that here was a woman who'd been placed in Georgetown with a vision for something that Georgetown, I knew, needed so badly.
So Josie and I first met a couple years ago. She reached out to the Sun newspaper and talked about this nonprofit that she was trying to start called A Gift of Time. And she said, you know, this nonprofit isn't just for people with dementia, it's also for their caregivers, because they pour so much of themselves into their loved ones, you know, and providing all this care that they don't have much time for themselves. And that's what I want to do with the Gift of Time, is to give them that gift of time.
There are numerous benefits associated with having a licensed adult daycare center in Georgetown, starting with being there for others that are going through some of the most challenging times of their lives, to the sheer fact that this is something that we can't bury our head in the sand and expect to go away. Each day, there's a new member of not only this community, but across the country that is starting to battle with the early onset of dementia. And as it plays out in the individual homes and lives of others, this adult daycare center is one step forward in our ability to better manage and help improve the quality of life of those that are going through this struggle.
My work with Gift of Time is really selfish, altruistic. Alzheimer's knows there's no distinction between rich and poor. There's no distinction by social status. It can hit anybody, you, me, at any time. And so just recognize there is a huge need for this.
A Gift of Time aligns with the Georgetown Health Foundation mission, which is to generate and accelerate positive change in our community's health, in the sense that we're working to help build our infrastructure for health and wellness and the continuum of care across Georgetown for kind of cradle to grave. And A Gift of Time's work resonates for us not only in terms of supporting folks with dementia, but also really their caregivers whose health often declines faster than that of their loved one in the process of caregiving. So it seems like a critical resource and that has a great potential for being a community asset, and that's why we support it.
St. David's Foundation has an Aging in Place focus area where we're committed to helping older adults live safely and independently in their community. And a key strategy within that focus area is supporting adult daycare centers. These centers are so important because they really do two things at once. The first thing is they allow older adults to come to a place of community where they can get cognitive stimulation, support by a registered nurse, social interaction, and really fight social isolation. The other benefit of adult day health centers is that they also provide support for the caregivers, the family caregivers. So when someone is taking care of a loved family member day after day, they need respite, they need help. And so they can take their loved ones to a place where They can have support for those older adults, cognitive stimulation, they can monitor their health, and those family caregivers can go to work. They can have respite, they can go shopping, they can have a mental break from the really heroic and great work that they do. So Adult Day Health Centers support the older adults who get that service, and they also support the family caregivers who need respite and support for the work that they do.
And so A Gift of Time really does this for the whole family. It does this for the person who is in need, and so providing them a place that they can encounter others, that they can listen, that they can talk, they can share, and then also especially for their loved ones, that they can maybe meet particular needs throughout the day, that they can find a balance, that they can find some prayer, that they can find an opportunity to also get things done that they need to. And so A Gift of Time really is an opportunity to strengthen our families. God calls us to go out and to love, right? And to care for those who are unable to care for themselves. So we have a very unique and an awesome opportunity here in Georgetown to care for those in need and to meet this particular need in our community, as the number of elderly and people who are in need are growing. And this opportunity will provide help and support for the whole family.
As parish nurse at First Presbyterian, I have worked for 22 years with various families that have had loved ones who developed dementia. And in that time, I often wanted so badly to have a place that I could refer them to that would provide hope and care and love, and not just for the person who has the dementia, but for the whole family.
I think as a reporter, one of my favorite kinds of stories to cover is the inspirational ones, and that's what A Gift of Time is. It's, Josie is trying to meet such a big need in Georgetown for an adult daycare, and not just for people with dementia, but also their caregivers, and that's really a need that I've seen myself. And I remember wishing that there was something that could help them, and now there's going to be. And I love that Josie is doing this. I think it's an amazing story.
Georgetown is truly a unique and giving community. In fact, talking to some of the old-time members here in the community, they say if you live here and you give here. And that can't be truer than what we see here today with the board of directors with the Gift of Time. They all live here and they all give here and they care here. And it's through this caring action that they're not just quickly turning away and just praising for what we do well. They're looking for areas where we can improve upon that, and it's how we manage what we don't know and what we don't do very effectively is what they're taking on. And one of those elements is adult daycare and better caring for those that are going through this battle. So I truly appreciate and applaud them and encourage you to support them.
I'm always willing to give money to this, to support it, and I like giving money to Georgetown activities that the money stays here in Georgetown. And it's neighbors giving to neighbors and taking care of each other.
The Georgetown Health Foundation supports A Gift of Time because it has such great potential to become a critical community asset and resource for this community. We are concerned not only for the folks who are suffering from dementia, but also to provide support for their caregivers whose health often suffers tremendously and sometimes declines faster than that of their loved one in the process of taking care of them. We also see it potentially as a way for folks to live together longer and keep families together, allowing families to age in place.
St. David's Foundation really hopes that A Gift of Time can continue this important work and create an adult day care center that will serve the needs of Georgetown's community, its older adults, and its family caregivers.
And so A Gift of Time really is an opportunity to strengthen our families. God calls us to go out and to love, right? And to care for those who are unable to care for themselves. So we have a very unique and an awesome opportunity here in Georgetown to care for those in need and to meet this particular need in our community, as the number of elderly and people who are in need are growing. And this opportunity will provide help and support for the whole family.
We are wonderfully and fearfully made. Each and every child of God is made by the Creator of the universe. And no matter what that person is going through, no matter what disease, no matter what experience they're living, they are worthy and they are important to be loved and to be nurtured. And a gift of time will do that.
So Josie is so kind to keep me involved, keep me informed on what's going on, and I'm also on the Gift of Time's newsletter list. So those are two ways that I keep up with the latest news of the Gift of Time. And I think also what I really enjoy about writing for a community newspaper is that I get to I get to see a lot of nonprofits, start and develop over the years, and that's what I've been able to see with the Gift of Time. I've been with them from when they started, and now, a couple years later, they've gone through, just a mere idea to now there's a board of directors, and now, Josie went to Houston to on a tour of a similar adult daycare program to get ideas for a Gift of Time, and now they're searching for a building and having this fundraiser, and I think it's just been amazing to see that journey and to be able to tell the story of that journey. I think what makes it such a good story for the community is that it meets such a huge need in Georgetown. And that's what I really love about Georgetown. What makes it such a close-knit community is that people don't just see a need and go, oh well, that's too bad. There's a problem. They step up and they meet that need. And that's what Josie has done here. There's not a full-time licensed adult daycare, except for now a Gift of Time. And I think it's wonderful that she's meeting that need. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for a Gift of Time and continuing to tell its story.
I truly applaud and appreciate the work that's currently being done by the Gift of Time Board. Their dedication and resilience in overcoming the numerous obstacles that they have faced to allow for the vision of an adult daycare in Georgetown to become a reality. I can't express enough through my words the gratitude that I feel for them to stay the course and committed to making the life better, not only for the caregivers, but also for those that are going through this battle with dementia.